Hello, this is John Locke, and today I want to talk about an interesting subject, which is when does Google reevaluate your site for quality content? When does Google look at the quality of your site and determine whether it should rank it? And there's specific times that trigger it to reevaluate your site. So let's talk about those. Now, most people know that Google is always looking at whether you have quality content or not. So whenever you change a page, it's going, and it crawls that page again, it's going to look at the page. But if we're looking at the aggregate of an entire site, how does Google determine whether your site is quality or not? So one of the times that it's going to do this is when you change domain names. It's going to reevaluate the site because, again, it's a brand new domain. Technically, all the content, all the imagery, all the design, and the code might be the same, but it's a new domain, so it has to reevaluate it. So anytime you do a domain name change, it's going to reevaluate your site for quality, and any issues that are there will come up. Second time that this is going to happen is whenever you redesign your site wholesale. So if it's been 2 or 3 years and it's time for you to redo your site and you're launching a brand new version of it, you have a new theme, you have a newly designed site, it's going to reevaluate it. So this is where a lot of design agencies can get into trouble. I know for a fact, the first 5 years or so of my career, I was the guy that ended up building a lot of websites for people. So when you hire a big design agency and they subcontract to a medium-sized agency, that medium-sized agency subcontracts somebody like me to actually build the site after they've come up with the designs. And one thing that I noticed a lot is that websites would launch, but the design would be pretty, but that wouldn't really take off in any way. Like the traffic wouldn't go up, anything like that. There wouldn't be like a big boost of traffic. So when you redesign a site, Google is going to relook at everything. And like I said way back when I first started doing videos, again, after a hiatus, a lot of design agencies, what they do is cut out a lot of the text, they cut out a lot of the words that are on pages, and they add a lot more imagery, they add a lot more effects and stuff like that. And what ends up happening is there's less content on the page, and though the design might look good to human eyes, Google looks at the code itself. And yes, it can render the page, but it can't evaluate the design. So the pretty design is mostly for humans, but Google is looking for actual elements like, the text on the page, videos, images, those sorts of things, and it's looking at the actual text of everything. So that is what Google is evaluating as far as that. So if you cut out a big bunch of text off of your home page and you don't see any growth from it from this relaunch, or perhaps you even see a dip, that's probably why. Whenever you're relaunching a site, I think it's best not to make a bunch of sudden changes to pages that are already ranking well. Like say if you have a home page and you say you have 5 or 10 other pages that are doing really well, like landing pages, don't eliminate text off of those pages, but rather find a way to intermix text and images in a way that breaks up the monotony. So designers, please listen to me when I'm saying this. Find a way to take the existing text and on those good, already high-ranking pages, don't eliminate elements, but find ways to make it more interesting. So if you have to break the text up into sections and intersperse it with images or other design elements or icons or whatever it is that you need to do, that is what I recommend you do instead of just cutting the text down to 1/3 of what it was before. So the 2 times that Google really reevaluates your site: domain name change, and when you redesign your site, it's going to look at it. I want to also touch on this too. Google looks at the entire your entire site, like the content of all the pages, and evaluates all the pages on the site to determine whether it's high or low quality. So this is why a lot of people do content pruning from time to time. If they have thin pages, pages with not a lot of information, pages with not a lot of text, pages that have outdated events or expired information, or just things that are not useful to their user base anymore, it's a good time to prune those out, because Google will look at those and probably say, if there's too many thin pages on a site, the quality of the site as a whole might not be as much. So definitely be aware of those things. If you're going to relaunch your site with either a new domain or a new design, make sure that you have gone through and done a content audit of all the pages on your site, and make sure that you clean up or prune any of those pages out before you relaunch, because Google will reevaluate your site. I hope that answers this question. If you have follow-up questions, leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer. My name's John Locke. My business is Lockedown Design and SEO. I'm here publishing videos every single day for the industrial and manufacturing sector, helping them with SEO. I would love to see you subscribe. That is all that I have for this video. And until next time, peace.